You are watching AI Storytelling, YTS.
They say black magic is a deal struck in silence, never signed, never spoken aloud, yet sealed in blood. But when that bargain is broken, the spirit doesn't just come for the one who made it. It comes for everyone they love. In the outskirts of a dying village in Rajasthan, there's a crumbling haveli where the windows are always dark, even at midday. They say inside, a woman's voice still whispers, in a language no one understands. Her body has been dead for years, but her possession, it was never undone. This is the story of how the 13th knot was tied, and why it must never be untied. Nareli was small, tucked away in the dunes. The desert didn't like strangers, and neither did the people. In the winter of 1994, Mira came back from the city after her husband's sudden death. She was only 27. She had no children, and she carried with her a wooden chest. It was wrapped in black cloth, tied so tightly it cut into the wood. She never let anyone near it. From the day she arrived, small things began to happen. Crows settled on the roof of the haveli. Wells dried up one by one. At night, there was a humming, always in 13 notes, never more, never less. People avoided her, but avoided saying her name even more, because those who tried to speak to her for too long came down with strange fevers, and some never recovered. One night, a boy named Harsh dared his friends to sneak into Mira's courtyard. They waited until the moon was high and climbed the cracked wall. The air inside was heavy, smelling of burnt oil and something sweet like rotting flowers. They saw the wooden chest open. Inside was a bundle of red cloth, tied with 13 knots in thick black thread. In each knot, something was bound: a tooth, a nail, a scrap of bone. Something pulsed faintly in the moonlight. Then came the humming, low and right behind them. They turned. Mira was standing barefoot, her hair over her face. She tilted her head slowly, too slowly, as if her neck was made of rope. The boys ran. By morning, Harsh could no longer speak. His tongue was blackened, his veins visible through his skin. He was dead before the week was over. The following year, a wandering tantric named Rudranath came to Nareli. He was tall, thin, his robes stained with ash. When told about the widow in the haveli, he didn't smile. He simply asked, "Has she tied the 13th knot yet?" The villagers didn't understand. He explained, in certain Agori rituals, 13 knots are tied to bind a spirit. If the magician dies before the 13th knot is tied, the spirit finishes the work itself. And when it does, it doesn't bind to the charm anymore. It binds to the living. People realized in horror. Mira's husband had died before completing something. And now, Mira was the vessel. Winter came again, but the nights grew short. People lit lamps, and minutes later, the sun would rise. Time felt wrong. Those who passed the haveli swore they saw figures inside, shapes hunched at impossible angles. Sometimes, they stood at the windows, their eyes glowing red in the dark. Rudranath stayed awake at night, watching from a safe distance. On the night before Amavasya, he saw Mira at the old well, dropping something into it. The water hissed and boiled. A smell like burning flesh filled the air. By morning, the 13th knot was tied. From that day, Mira changed. Her eyes turned black. No whites, no color. She didn't walk, she glided. Doors opened before she touched them. Flocks of crows followed her. Children began sleepwalking to her haveli, their lips moving in strange chants. Parents couldn't wake them. Something pushed them back when they tried. Rudranath confronted her. He drew a circle of ash. She stepped over it as if it wasn't there. He left me unfinished, she said. Now I finish with you. Rudranath prepared the Pratiband ritual, the only known way to sever such a possession. It had to be done on Amavasya. The vessel had to be trapped inside a consecrated circle until sunrise. The villagers lured Mira to the ruins of an old temple, using a trail of oil lamps. Once she entered the central courtyard, they slammed heavy iron chains into place, sealing the circle. She screamed, a sound like metal tearing. Her body twisted, bending backward until her hands brushed her heels. Her voice became layered, male, female, child, old man, all at once. The idols bled dark tar. The ground cracked. As dawn neared, Rudranath's chants grew desperate. Mira floated above the ground, her hair writhing like snakes. Her face shifted. Her own, then a man's, then something with no face at all. Suddenly, she stopped. In perfect calm, she said, "You have forgotten the price." A black mass of smoke and eyes tore out of her mouth, slamming into Rudranath. He convulsed, laughing with a voice not his own. His eyes turned black. The spirit had taken its 13th life. Rudranath was now the vessel. The temple collapsed in a roar of stone and dust. The haveli stands empty, but sometimes a man in saffron robes walks its corridors, his shadow moving out of sync. Every few years, someone vanishes, always after hearing 13 notes in their sleep. And sometimes, travelers in the desert wake to find a string with 13 knots tied to their tent poles. If you untie even one, the other 12 will come for you. So don't forget to subscribe. AI Storytelling YTS.